And we are back. What's up with Chuck Billy and hanging out? We are talking New Testament right now. We've been talking a little bit about the pandemic and about the tour and how much fun that was, but we want to get in the meat and potatoes of this. And we were talking about Eric, you coming off the Slayer tour, and you said Eric just had a mission, it seemed like, and to get this record written.
Well, I think he just had a different approach. Most of the time, well, be honest, on this record, Children of the Next Level was the first song musically, lyrically that we finished. And I felt that could have been like right off Brotherhood. Just had that same musical style and lyrics about, futuristic kind of alien stuff. So I thought, okay, well, that's the direction we're going. And I was ready to go. I was happy that was going to be. And then Eric started giving me these different moods of riffs and everything. And it's like, okay, wait, this is really like different. And at first, I didn't know if it was good or bad. If it was like, well, wait, no, get back to Children kind of stuff. But
yeah, because we were listening to songs that when we were writing. I get to hear.
And they were just
the
little
early
riffs.
Testament stuff, and there was one song which I don't know what it turned out to be on the record, but there was one you weren't sure of the riff, but and then I think towards the end you were like you had written something for it. We were looking at you. What is this?
There was a couple like
What's
that.
What's he doing here? And
yeah, it was odd for me. It wasn't Testament, I guess, because when I heard the riff, it's just Eric and a guitar.
But Eric is so fucking Testament. It's kind of like second guessing him.
But there's no bass. There's no finished drums. There's none of that. So it's so raw. I couldn't see the picture like he sees it, I guess. The finished part with everybody's parts there. And, but living with it and working the right way with it. Because I could have screwed it up, I think, if I'd have made it boring and just went something typical without really putting the time into it. I really put the time into it,
But I don't think he would have allowed that. Do you? Because he's good about that too. He knows what's following the bouncing ball. We always like to refer to that as, and he's good at that, So he's a good lyric.
Yeah, but he likes
writer. He writes great lyrics. So
but when Eric writes songs, though, I've noticed when he translates to me, he'll be playing them. But he'll be translating to me like Dragon Lord, where he's screeching them, it's high, and I'm like, but that's not how I do it. That's not the way I'm singing them. So I have to interpret again what he's doing, because he hears it differently. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I hear where you're going with that because, I hear your influence.
Now, when you did the vocals this time, was he there with you and Juan at any of the times, or was it just
not on tracking?
Not on tracking.
No, because, and again, there's no demo, so he just knew I had a lot of parts, and a lot of parts that we wrote, even lyrically, were parts we wrote over the lead sections, which I didn't know at that time were lead sections.
We always do that,
We're just writing.
We write, exactly.
And at the end...
Because I'd ask you that, where's the lead coming in? You're like, I don't know, it could be over this part we're writing right now, so it's quite possible.
But that's how we had to go with it with Eric, because I just had to keep it flowing and keep it moving, and kind of okay, that one's done, let's keep moving on, give me more, because I knew the struggle from Brotherhood, what it was to get that record finished. I didn't want to repeat that. I wanted just to make the easiest route possible. Don't argue with him, take his music, let's just get this done, put some time in it. I know what I want to do. I know I don't want to just take the easy route out.
So is that the formula for the future stuff?
Well, the
you
thing
think
was...
as it works great now, why would you stray away from it?
Yeah, but it could have backfired too, because this record and Brotherhood, we went into the studio without being prepared. We had a bunch of riffs, bunch of lyrics and melodies, no finished material. And it worked out because it put our backs against the wall, really put us under the pressure. And I think it made us, I don't know, I guess, get a little more creative and just got a little more out of us being under pressure. And I think there was something about that we've always had the songs before. When you do demos, you kind of foresee what you're trying to do, and this one was just raw. Everything was first take, let's go, that's good, and move on. And that was the beauty of this record. And at the end of the day, I think that's how all the songs really have their own identity. And we're like, wow, this really came out better than I thought. You know?
Wayne and I were talking about that earlier. Our producer Wayne, we were talking about the record, and he said there's a lot of different things going on there, and I think that's the beauty of it too. Because if you can accomplish that and still make it sound killer and heavy like it is that's everything right there.
Well, like the song
diversity on it.
Well, the song I think I played you was "City of Angels," which was a really slow, repetitive, sludgy song. And at first I said, I don't want that on the record. It doesn't match the rest of the thrash like we were talking. But at the end of the day, that song there ended up being one of the better songs because I was so against it. But Del, who I write with also,
right,
he said, let me hear that song. And I said, okay, played it. And he goes, hold on. He comes back down. He had the song, City of Angels, Servant of Satan. He had it called. And it was already written. And he goes, here, just try this to that. So I sat down, we rolled it again, and I just kind of went through the song, and I think this will work. The lyrics, the timing, I'll give it a shot. And I went home, and 2 days later, I think I went and tracked with Juan. And I didn't know how I was going to approach the song, but when it came on, I jumped in, and I sang this texture of voice, real subtle, that I've never did on a record. So after 13 records, is still trying something new or finding a different texture. So to me, that was like, okay, we're really stepping out of our zone and we're doing things we haven't done before, but fuck, in a killer positive way,
right.
You know? So in that sense, it I don't know. So about the structure, just the way it came together, the process and success we did last time, it really worked this time.
Now talk about working with Del, because this is like the 4th record, just like myself.
Longer. Del's worked with me
since
The Ritual, I think, back.
Oh, really?
Way back, yeah.
And if anybody doesn't know, Del James is worked with Guns N' Roses, writes a lot of Axl stuff. November Rain was written by Del James.
Yeah, we met when he was the chief editor at Rip Magazine.
Oh, really?
And Gene Ambo, they did a story, and they came to Europe and traveled with us for like 2 weeks. And that's how we became buds, Gene and all of us. And ever since then, I loved his writing, and he was writing books at the time as well. And I approached him to write some lyrics, and we went down, and again, we worked well and wrote quick, and he knew what, he wanted to write some heavy shit, and, and it's been like me and you. We sit down in a day. When we're going to sit down, you're not going home until we have the song written.
No, that's it.
You know what I mean?
I tell you that. We're going to write this. We're going to write this song.
And that's the
way you should do it.
We go to Del's. I drive down, and I spend the night. So I'm here one day, 3 songs sometimes in a day, and we just go at it. And sometimes it all doesn't make it, but we'll write it.
Exactly.
I
mean, I'm good for like 4 or 5, and maybe 1 or 2 will make it on there. It's just fun. I totally know that, though. To me, it's the challenge and the opportunity to get to do it. You know what I mean? And to see what we can come up with. Because again, we came up with something completely different than Alex came up with that ended up on the record. But if this COVID thing goes, I may come to your house and sing it. We could release that as, this is what Zet wrote to this.
That demo comes. I have it on. I still have what we do.
Yeah. You do. Okay.
I have the demo thing, but we could do it better. But
yeah, exactly.
I have that little scratch stuff that we did. And it's crazy. Yeah,
because a lot of the people, I don't know if you remember, because less than a year ago, we were putting stuff on social media, pictures of me at your house, and that's what we do, and that's how we do it. We get there and do it. Now, how many did Del get on this record? How many did it finally end up with Del?
Del wrote probably a majority of the songs with me.
So he's on this record more than the past few records.
Yeah, Alex wrote 1 song on his own, and I collaborated on one of his songs. So 2 of the songs Alex wrote, and then you wrote one, and then me and Del wrote the rest.
Wow.
Yeah. Eric maybe had a bit of something, a little bit of it, but...
So Eric has no lyrical credit on this record?
Not really, a little bit, but not really, no.
Which is interesting because he, Eric writes his lyrics,
Yeah, but he was focused on the music, which is good. And
it tells.
I put the time in, and we just did our homework, and when it came time to get together, we were all knew what we were going to do,
It seemed like it on this record, it seemed like Alex was in on it very early as well too, because like the song that we first collaborated on, which changed
Symptoms
lyrically,
ended up being, yeah.
that was
All the chaos.
all the chaos, all the violence,
Yeah.
and that was Alex's song.
Yeah.
So it's like Eric writes 60 to 70% of the music at this point now, Chuck, or
Well, I mean, it's open to whoever can write it. That's the name.
on this record. How did that end up?
Mostly Eric. Alex, he contributed, probably 4 or 5 could be songs. 2 of them made it, and,
Anything you keep for
I
Titans of
don't
Creation
know.
2, or what's next? Or
We don't know. I mean,
did you keep one from Brotherhood of the Snake for
no.
this? You
no.
did not.
We never do that. Eric never keeps stuff because then it's kind of already dated like that. We did that. All our records kind of different in
So
a
you
sense.
don't. There's nothing from the last thing that you brought up on this one.
No, he never does that. I mean, he'll save that and he'll save that riff for Dragon Lord or something. He likes to read.
But he doesn't do much of that anymore, really, has
No.
he? Because he's been so busy with Testament.
And no
which
time
is
for
great.
that, yeah.
That's great. That's great. Keeps you guys busy.
Yeah, and I think it keep him focused on this and what he's doing now, and if he can just stay on this path and just keep writing, doing what he does.
So now what happens? Now we have a record. We had so much touring we were going to do, and it just got shut off.
Yeah.
I guess press is obviously what you're going to keep doing.
I've been
to keep
doing
the
a lot
record
of press,
going. That's
but
good.
we're thinking of things because, of course, we put this out during a time when it's tough to get out there physically, and to go promote it. So I know I would like to do some more stuff involving this in a way, video-wise, maybe more performing of this live and just different things,
Do
Especially,
you think that it'll get to a point where, because they may not let us have concerts for a while, you won't get to play as much on this record as you thought you might have wanted to, and then by a gradual time start writing another new record? Because at the point when we get back to finally concerts, could this quite possibly be maybe a year and a half old? We don't know right now.
yeah. I mean, who knows where it's going? I mean, this could evolve into a whole new world of online entertainment, creating like you got here, people creating programs, and then why not jam in the other room? It's just crazy stuff like that.
What about Testament live, like virtual live, like playing a concert with nobody there, or maybe 10 or 15 people that are COVID screened and
Yeah, but
doing
there's
something
things
like
like
that.
that. Yeah, but just people are already starting to think that way. I talk to Al at Soundwave. They're already trying to set up to do shows there. And
yes, we know this.
he's got the
Actually,
little sound stage.
Mordred is going to be there.
Oh
doing
yeah.
that.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
Our producer is in on that, so
Well, there you go. So things like that, and who
pay-per-view
knows?
thing.
Yeah.
Testament's going to play live at Al's, $15 a piece, something like that. You do, and who's not to know? That's not what it's going to go to, because they're still going to want to see live music.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just see how it plays out. I mean, you want to do the right thing. You want to do it. I mean, I think we wouldn't do that right now. That's why I think everybody's kind of doing that right now. So I'm thinking in the sense of, how do I get back to promote this thing?
Right.
Get back out there and play this thing. How do I do that? So, those concerts, I want to wait till we all can get in the same room, where Alice can fly out, Gene can fly up, instead of doing it all at home. I'd rather do it together and make it really cool, some sort of environment, either it be in a studio or be on a set somewhere, I don't know, and jam this record,
that would be awesome.
and just have that as jam the brand new record, live, and have that as something.
So play the record in its entirety live.
Why not?
Believe me, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Why not?
I hear you.
So I think people would want to see that. I want to see that. I'd love to do that. You know what I mean? So things like that. I mean, we're just kind of going to bounce ideas and see what everybody else does. I think that's kind of what's going to happen. Everybody just go, oh, that's a smart idea. That's a good idea.
Well, I love the fact that you guys are trying to chomp at the bit and do what you can to get this going. I mean, we are too. Obviously, it's time for us Gary's back, and there's not a lot going on. I think the social distancing has kind of hindered that a little bit, because I think he's got to get into a room with Tom, you know what I mean, to do that. So I think that's going to hinder it a little bit, but I know it's definitely in the works. New Exodus album is definitely on the horizon. It's the natural progression at this point, and so it's what we need to do. And you guys have done it. The thing is that you've experienced it tenfold. You released a record in the middle of you went on tour, you caught it. I mean, there's people that have go through, I don't know anybody who even has the disease. I can name 7 people that I know have fucking got it. So it seems like it's a different world for other people, but for us, it's real. It's reality. In a big way.
It's a crazy world. In the scheme of things, this doesn't really mean a whole hell of a lot. But at the end of the day,
but it does to it. A lot of people.
But at the end of the
day,
I feel good about this. That people are finally going to find it somewhere and hear it and go right on. I think you're underselling that this isn't that. This is everything to people right now. They don't have anything, and those people, especially the ones in Europe and in South America that live their life by Testament and Exodus and Overkill and Metallica and all their bands. This is what they live their day-to-day lives on. They needed this, bro. They fucking needed this, because now what's going to be coming out new, in a while? Nothing, because they can't, a lot of people are, like you're saying, a lot of bands are afraid that they're not going to be able to physically buy this, so or they're going to postpone a lot of releases.
Exactly, or postpone it, so... I heard Amazon's not even taking on new releases right now. So you guys, I guess, made the cut but they're not.
It was already set up in the queue, and they couldn't stop it.
If Amazon doesn't get it and stores aren't open, bands would be fools to release records right now. But that's why maybe double records next year, because there's going to be so much new material.
But that's what I feel, the faith in the record, though. I do know. People are hearing it. It's getting some good press, thank God. And I think once they get their hands on it or hear some of it,
No, I think the attention that it's getting is great, because there's.
Did you see the video? The video came out awesome. I
know.
It was a lot of fun doing that. That was something different for this.
Sure. But that was cool. Are you going to do more stuff like that?
I want to. I'd like to do another track of this like that. Why not? What else are we doing?
We're not doing anything else right now. You could do it all in your COVID mask, just like that. You guys make the testy mask. Everybody's got testy masks.
We have them now. They just came
Exodus
out.
We did too. We did that too with the full wrap.
It's like this,
Oh no, Mars is a full wrap, and you pull it, and it's a piranha face.
Oh, nice.
It's Exodus right there.
Nice.
It's kind of cool. So, I guess that's going to be the norm these days.
Oh, it is. I already see on TV they're doing designer masks.
Well, I had this one all made nice. Me, I'm a monster guy, so I'm Dracula on one side, Frankenstein on the other. But right when you were coming up, I'm like, I'll put this on. I don't go to the store. I make Vicky do it. I'm like staying away. In fact, I've only really ridden my motorcycle a couple times. I stay home. I'm trying to do what everybody else is doing. I'm trying to follow suit. I don't leave the house. If I'm asymptomatic and I don't want to affect anybody. If I don't, who knows?
We don't leave the house much either anymore. But and believe me, I get out of the car and I walk 20 feet and I go, oh shit, my mask. I got to turn around and go back to the car.
New thing.
It's a whole new for everybody. But I definitely want to promote and want people to, especially when you're indoors, outdoors, in your car, whatever, rip that thing off.
Right. It's respectful. Respectful. So a lot of people wondering, can I get you back in to talk? Well, we didn't do it this time, but I'm gonna bring him back in. We're gonna talk
Dublin Little League.
Well, your dad his hat used to bend over because he had 18 pins from every year that your dad was very proud. We talk baseball. We could talk Rampage, soccer. We could do a whole thing on Willie Lang. We could talk Rampage. We could talk a lot of things. But today we wanted to just concentrate on the tour, the COVID, how it affected him, and obviously this monster. If you have not gotten this album, and I know you guys want to physically get it, order it. Order it from Nuclear Blast.
These are yours. I brought these for you.
Oh, you can't have these. Are mine. Cool. And so get this record, It's Testament Titans of Creation, the post-pandemic release.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys get to go on the road real soon, huh, Charlie?
Well, we're securing some stuff for summer next year already. And I know Scott Sokol, your agent, our agent, he's hard at work. He's talking to a lot of AEG, Live Nation people. He's really, really tight with them, trying to get in and get the word and get going. And I feel pretty good in his hands. So
I do too.
Yeah.
Out of all the years, it seems like the label's great. They know what they're doing. I love the label. Don't have a problem with them. I love our agent. I love the management so far. Everything's, moving like a machine right now. For both bands, it's great. It's great. And you guys are doing killer. So you guys, leave me comments, obviously. Share this with them, and we'll get Chuck back in here. We got to talk all that Dublin shit. People want to know about how we grew up and that sort of thing. I just felt that this was more important.
Yeah. We got more time. We'll come back. We'll bring some photos. And
definitely. We'll
talk about bullshit about some old days, some old flyers,
the Rampage days, barn parties.
Oh, yeah.
All you Dublin people know what we're talking about, but everybody else, go ahead and leave me some comments. Obviously, subscribe to the channel, and we'll try to bring you this stuff as much as we can through the pandemic. I'll try to keep guests coming in here. I know it hasn't rolled 4 days a week like we were doing in the past, and we were doing new acts and viewer comments and things like that. We haven't really gone to that too much this year. We're trying to keep the social distancing serious, so I didn't want to have Walter come all the way out. So all the people that are close to me that I'm having come out, we're going to try to do that. So you guys keep viewing, and for myself and Chuck Billy, we'll see you in Zetro's Toxic Vault real soon.
See you guys.